Django Unchained. Pieces of information about the movie.
Django Unchained is a 2012 American Western film, directed and written by Quentin Tarantino, starring Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, and Samuel L. Jackson. The movie is set in the Old West and antebellum South, and pays homage to spaghetti westerns, particularly the 1966 Italian film Django by Sergio Corbucci. The plot follows a slave who teams up with a German bounty hunter to rescue his wife. Development began in 2007, with filming taking place in California, Wyoming, and Louisiana from November 2011 to March 2012. The film premiered in December 2012 and was well received by critics, earning over $426 million worldwide and winning awards for Waltz's performance and Tarantino's screenplay. Despite controversy over its language and violence, Django Unchained was a commercial and critical success, becoming Tarantino's highest-grossing film to date. In 1858, Texas Ace and Dickie Speck, two brothers, are seen leading a group of enslaved black individuals on foot. Among them is Django, who has been separated from his wife, Broomhilda von Schaft, a house slave fluent in German and English. Their journey is interrupted when Dr. King Schultz, a former German dentist turned bounty hunter, crosses their path. Schultz is interested in purchasing Django due to his knowledge of the outlaw Brittle brothers, who were overseers at Django's previous plantation and are now wanted by Schultz. However, when Ace refuses to sell Django and threatens Schultz, the situation turns violent. Schultz kills Ace and immobilizes Dickie by shooting his horse. He then encourages the freed slaves to seek revenge, which they do by shooting Dickie. In exchange for Django's assistance in tracking down the Brittle brothers, Schultz offers him freedom and $75. Together, Django and Schultz successfully eliminate the Brittle brothers at Spencer Big Daddy Bennett's plantation in Tennessee. However, their actions attract the attention of Bennett, who begins pursuing them with a posse. In a clever move, Schultz sets up an ambush using explosives, allowing them to escape. Django takes matters into his own hands and kills Bennett. Feeling responsible for Django, Schultz agrees to help him locate and rescue Broomhilda. He also trains Django to become a bounty hunter. As they continue their journey, Django collects his first bounty and keeps the handbill as a memento and symbol of good luck. They accumulate more bounties until they reach Mississippi, where they discover that Broomhilda is now owned by Calvin Candie, a member of the American gentry and the owner of the brutal Candyland plantation. At Candyland, male slaves are forced to engage in deadly mandingo fights. Schultz and Django devise a plan. Instead of directly purchasing Broomhilda, they propose to buy one of Candie's top fighters for $12,000, equivalent to $423,000 in 2023. This serves as a pretext to acquire Broomhilda for a minimal amount. They intend to deceive Candie by pretending to leave the plantation with the fighter while taking Broomhilda with them. They arrange a meeting with Candie at his exclusive club and present their offer. Intrigued, Candie invites them to Candyland. On their way, they come across Candie's slave trackers, who have captured D'Artagnan, an escaped Mandingo fighter. Schultz tries to save D'Artagnan by offering to buy him on the spot, but Django is compelled to intervene. In a cruel act, Candie orders his guard dogs to brutally attack and kill D'Artagnan, deeply disturbing Schultz. After informing Broomhilda of their plan, Schultz proposes to purchase her as his companion, while discussing the initial Mandingo deal over dinner. Stephen, Candie's fiercely loyal and suspicious head house slave, realizes that Broomhilda is acquainted with Django, figures out their scheme, and alerts Candie. Infuriated, Candie changes the terms of the deal at gunpoint to sell Broomhilda for $12,000 instead of the fighter. Schultz reluctantly agrees. As the sale is being finalized, Candie threatens to kill Broomhilda unless Schultz seals the deal by shaking his hand. Fed up with Candie's arrogance, Schultz impulsively shoots and kills Candie. In retaliation, Candie's bodyguard, Butch Pooch, kills Schultz, prompting Django to eliminate Pooch, Candie's lawyer, Leonide Mogi, and many of Candie's henchmen in a prolonged gunfight. However, Django is compelled to surrender when Broomhilda is taken hostage. The following day, Django, who is chained, is tortured and on the verge of being castrated by overseer Billy Crash when Steven arrives. Steven informs Django that Candie's sister Lara, now in charge of the plantation, has ordered him to be sold to a mining company and worked to death. While being transported with other slaves, Django devises an escape plan and uses his first handbill to prove to his escorts that he is a bounty hunter. Deceptively claiming that the men on the handbill from his first bounty are at Candyland, Django promises the escorts a share of the reward money. Upon being released and handed a gun, Django promptly eliminates his escorts, retrieves his belongings and weapons, and heads back to Candyland with dynamite. Django retrieves Broomhilda's freedom papers from Schultz's body, says his final farewell to his mentor, and seeks vengeance for him and D'Artagnan by eliminating the trackers. After freeing Broomhilda, just as Candie's followers come back from his funeral, Django proceeds to eliminate Lara, Crash, and the rest of the henchmen at the mansion. He releases the 2 remaining house slaves, injures Steven, and then sets off the dynamite he strategically placed around the mansion. Django and Broomhilda observe from afar as the mansion goes up in flames before departing together. Hello everybody, I just needed to take a minute to specify my true appreciation to all of you who observe my videos. Your support means the world to me. Whether you are a longtime watcher or found my channel, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my substance. It persuades me to keep making and sharing. If you've delighted in my recordings, if you don't mind, consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more. Much appreciated once more for being a portion of this travel.